Greetings, fellow DC superfans. Tiki here. After getting educated in all things DCAU Batman, I've decided it's time to embark on a journey to the Arctic to learn about Superman, the animated series. Aiding me along the way is BlueDragonFive.
That's right, folks. Like Jor-El, I'm serving as Tiki's pre-recorded guide through Superman the Animated Series, with the goal of shedding light and showing Tiki the way to better understand the history of the last son of Krypton.
So, let's fly to the Fortress of Recaps and talk My Girl. Insert he can't see without his glasses reference here. But Dragon, what's funny is that it actually does fit because it's like
Clark
an
Kent.
old friend of Clark Kent's, and it's like, Clark, what are you doing without your glasses? You can't see without your glasses.
He can't see without his glasses.
Oh God.
Clark can't see without his glasses.
all right. Okay, so Dragon, I'm just going to be straight up here, man. I really, really enjoyed this episode a lot. I thought this was just like classic Superman iconography. I really like the kind of the romantic rivalry between Lex and Superman. I think the animation in this episode like really hits, and I'd be surprised if this wasn't some sort of special animation company doing this. I'd be surprised. I don't know for sure, but I did pick up on the fact that the animation for this just it seems a little bit higher quality. I can't put my finger on why. It just seems like the framing of certain shots is a little bit more ambitious this time around. But I digress. I just I don't know. I really like the the characterization of Lana, that she's able to clock Clark right away. I just think this is all around. There's maybe my favorite Superman save of the whole series so far in this episode. So all around, I just think it's just a really, really good standalone Superman story. Like basically no notes on this one.
I'm glad you liked it. I was a little worried you wouldn't.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. It honestly, it might be my favorite so far.
Yeah, cool. All right, so this was directed by Yuichiro Yano, who was the director of Over the Edge from the new Batman Adventures. The big Scarecrow, Batgirl Death Fake Out episode, that one. Which is a lot of people's favorite from the new Batman Adventures, by the way. It's like the go-to.
Right.
Writer on this was Hilary J. Bader, who did A Little Piece of Home, which is one of my favorite episodes in the series.
Mm-hmm.
Studio worked on this. So the studio, Tiki, you're not wrong. You have seen them before, but selectively doing Superman the Animated Series so far. They didn't do every episode, but so this was TMS. So TMS, of course, is like second to Spectrum, is the heavy duty studio in the DCAU. Is it TMS is like really?
So it's like they're kind of a rare treat. Is that fair to say? Okay, so yeah. I did pick up on that. I did pick up on like, oh, this is not just the house studio doing this.
That's like the house studio, as we've kind of established, is it's Coco and Dong Yang. That's the house.
And obviously they do a great job.
Oh yeah,
I'm not trying to put them down, but like I said, just the shot composition alone, there's some really interesting things going on here as far as the animation goes.
That thing, TMS has always been like the A studio. It's always been like they pull out all the stuff. Of course, the reason we're always going to know TMS, but most famously did Feet of Clay Part 2, which had the morphing effects.
Oh yes,
that's always that's why everyone remembers TMS. They also did I believe they did Two-Face Part 1, which is the better of the Two-Face two-parter, and then they did like just from Batman alone, the Demon's Quest, one of my favorites. TMS does quality work, and as far as Superman goes, they did two of my favorites. They did Little Piece of Home, which was the introduction of Kryptonite, and Way of All Flesh, which was the Metallo episode.
Another two very strong episodes, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So let me put it this way. TMS is more so sprinkled through Superman, but not like, it's a treat, but I don't know how rare in hindsight. We have to see how often TMS pops up.
TMS it's like a Turkish delight, Dragon.
There you go, yeah.
I don't know why I randomly used a Chronicles of Narnia reference, but there you go. That's the
Oh,
mood I'm in tonight.
I was thinking more Falcon Winter Soldier, but by all
Okay, fair enough.
Baron Zemo's favorite candy, Turkish
Yeah,
delight.
I forgot about that. Yeah. All right.
All right, so not a lot here. Just the main thing I want to hit on this. So this is the reintroduction of Lana Lang. We established her in the pilot, in the
Mhm.
part 2 of our 3-part pilot. Um, Fun fact about Lana Lang. Not a lot of people know. So Lana Lang was one of the few credited creations, like full-on credited creations of Bill Finger.
Oh, really? Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
so Bill Finger did get comics credit, just never on Batman for 75
Uh-huh.
years. So, for example, like the Clock King was. I'm trying to remember Clock. I know he wrote the Clock King episode from '60s. The only time Bill Finger ever fully got credit on Batman until after the years long battle, and still it's just a whiff. It's not also by, but the point is,
Right, right.
'60s Batman. He wrote the Clock King episodes. That's the only time he was kind of officially credited with something with Batman there. However, he did Lana Lang. Although I remember what it is, Alan Scott Green Lantern. That's also his. So the original Green Lantern, not even the Hal Jordan Green Lantern. So the very first Green Lantern we ever saw, Bill Finger.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
All right. So basically he was working on the Superboy comic, and they were trying to fill out Superman's past, and that's where Lana Lang came from. So and of course in Superman 3, the movie, we had Annette O'Toole, Michael McKean's wife, playing Lana Lang. So she has graced us
I
only
didn't
one
know that.
time.
That's a fun 6 degrees of separation there.
Oh yeah, and remember she was also in Kidding.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So the point being, Lana Lang, she very rarely ever pops up in film. Like she's only popped up really there, and Dark Knight Returns, the animated movie, she kind of gets folded into there. So that's kind of neat. But anyway, so Smallville, the show, made a meal out of Lana Lang, as you can probably
Oh
tell. Well,
sure.
we don't have a Lois Lane yet, so we need the next best thing, which is Lana Lang, who's established.
Another LL.
Yep. Which, if you notice, there's a running gag through Superman that he has a thing for women with the initials LL, because there's also in the Superboy era, I think he had a fling with a mermaid who was like something Lamaris. It was Luna
Oh no.
Lamaris or something. It was like LL. It was anyway. One last thing. This one's more for me. So the voice actress for the actress we have playing Lana Lang is Jolie Fisher, who, a lot of nostalgia there. The big one for me, Brenda, Dr. Brenda Bradford from Inspector Gadget. That's her.
Oh nice,
Another
nice.
redhead. Just want to get that in there. Also, a lot of people, from the Till Death show, Brad Garrett. She played Brad Garrett's wife in that show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get into it.
Okay, so yeah, we start with let's see, Lois and Clark are what exactly is going on here? It's something to do with Luthor, right? It's some
Yeah,
sort of
that's the thing. So
demonstration.
now you could read it both ways, because we've established this before. Sometimes Clark Kent will get the actual city beat, which he might just be there reporting on the fashion show. However, Lois is most likely there because she knows Lex is going to be there and she can grill him about stuff. That's presumably why Lois is in tow with Clark. Now, whether they're both there for Lex is unclear, but at the very least, Clark might actually be there for the fashion show.
Uh-huh.
All right, so we reveal the designer of the fashion show is none other than Lana Lang, who we, the audience, recognize briefly in her younger form. So we reveal that she's much the Superman, and the audience is shocked. And this is such a great idea. She's been dating Lex.
And I do like I do like how the reveal of her name is that LL thing. It's like the crowd's just saying like LL, and then Clark's like, wait a minute, LL? I must have dated this person in the past.
But you know what the other clever joke about the LL is, though? LL Bean.
Oh yeah, sure.
Get it? But it's such an ingenious little thing. Here's the idea that Superman's been in these relationships with women. It's kind of a reversal, but it's also kind of like a trend that in the DCA, we've kind of established that we never saw it, but we established that, a reason Lex and Lois have this animosity is that they used to date briefly.
Mhm.
So, Superman yet again with a woman who has dated Lex Luthor.
I know, right?
However, the reversal here is that, and I love this as we kind of get to, but Lex will never really know is that, he ended up with Superman's girl. Like Superman had her first. It's just the idea. It's that would stick in his craw if he knew. It would drive him up a wall the same way it does, with Lois and Clark. Anyway, so Lana. So overall here we see, she. I think we established firmly Superman has a type with Lana aside from the LLs.
Uh-huh.
Which I think in the Freudian sense has to do with like the House of L. I think ultimately that's why he's obsessed with the LLs. I'm just going to throw that out there. No, but all seriousness, Clark has a type. He likes the spunky Spitfire types who are smart, who are beautiful, who are very witty, and also very prone to danger, as we see. So, between Lois and Lana, there's some similarities to be sure.
Mm-hmm. I mean, just as far as the animation goes, some of the stuff to note here, we get some really good like overhead shots of the crowd that look really impressive, like genuinely look kind of theatrical that I kind of picked up on right away.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
again,
let's see.
The other thing, dated women who have dated Lex too, is with the whole like the type that he's got. All right, let's see. So we established that Lana's wearing this expensive dress with like jewels sewn into like.
I mean, with Lex, it's like it's that's way more of a Freudian thing because it's like a fellow LL.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. All right, so Lana gets robbed. She gets robbed and kidnapped. Essentially, they want the dress, so they kidnap her to get the valuables on the dress, and she's kidnapped by Lizzie and Big Susan Tiki.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't name them. That's what's in the credits, man. Lizzie and Big Susan. So they're in an elevator, and again, this is a really great set piece.
Is
that really
Big
fits
Susan a relative of Big Patty's?
I mean, it's possible. Maybe it's all just like maybe it's all just big in that family. So it's all. Yeah. You remember the gag with Big Patty, right?
Which one?
Well, I mean, the fact that Big Patty, her family, her mother and her father were, I mean, essentially little people. They weren't little people, but they were, the implication.
Yeah, I do kind of remember that. Yeah.
I don't know if it was like, maybe, I don't know if you'd say like kind of Danny DeVito or like legit little people given the design choices in Hey Arnold. So it's kind of hard to tell, but the point being, she was far larger than her parents.
I would say like Ernie is canonically like a Danny DeVito size.
Well, that's the thing. So Ernie's like, if Ernie's Danny DeVito, I think her parents were like in the same vein as Ernie. So I want to say, but then again, they had a bit of a high pitched voice, so we might have been trying to do a little bit of subtle commentary there. I'm not sure. Anyway, watch Hey Arnold, kids. Beyond that. So this is a really great set piece and really plays to the TMS animation where it's a classic Superman. We're in a glass elevator. Superman shows up and they start shooting at him. And we have, again, these classy Tim Daly delivered Superman bits. There's like, you haven't heard about me, have you? Yeah, we heard about you. You like to save people. And they throw the girl out the elevator. And it's, oh my God, this is a great moment too, where he just like kind of slows down. He catches Lana and he grabs the elevator.
This isn't the save that I was talking about, but this is still a
pretty cool though.
Save. This episode has multiple really good saves,
which is how I like my Superman, by the way.
Yeah.
So he just ties him to a bridge. I just love the animation, like how they go whoa in the elevator and everything. And so they land. Lana thanks Superman, and she catches him off guard. Again, the structure of this episode, man, she just catches him off guard and reveals that. Clark, I know it's you. Just let me guess. Well, before she doesn't spell it out. She reveals that she knows Clark by saying, "Let me guess. Martha sewed it for you." Like what?
I love that. Yeah, it's so nonchalant.
So he's caught off guard.
Clark just looks at her and is just like, "Why did you say that name?"
Tosses her off. He just saved her. He tosses her off the side. It's like and he just says, "I'm sorry. I don't think it saves her. I'm sorry. I don't know what happens." It's
basically like the Winter Soldiers program.
Yeah. Like someone said freight car. I don't know what happened. It's like, think of it, the Winter Soldier can never watch Spider-Man Homecoming because Homecoming, I think, is like the last or second to last word in that command code.
Right.
Anyway, in all seriousness, seriously, in the structuring, though, I love that, she catches him off guard the moment he just hears this. Before he can really get into the conversation, Lex arrives, Superman flies off, and we have this great, this sums up what I love about this episode, it's the triangle between Lex, Superman, and Lana, where it's like, it's the one time I'm happy that Alien showed up. If he only knew. Oh God, it's like
now,
yes.
Let's bring up the one thing that I kind of feel like it might be a nitpick, but I have my own headcanon about it. The fact that Lois pretty much disappears after the first scene. And my headcanon about it, Dragon, is that Lois sees what's going on. She just doesn't care. She's above it.
Mm-hmm.
She knows her value. She's not going to spend time worrying about it.
Well, that's true. I mean, you'll see some glimpses of jealousy from Lois, but it's like no, it's not. But in the way that you're saying about it, though, it's like it's a jealousy that's not like she's not like getting mired in it, but it's like you can kind of tell like look, Smallville, do what you want, but you can kind of see like, okay, I'm a little bothered by this.
No, but what I'm saying isn't that she's not bothered by it at all. It's just that she's very much playing it cool, and she's just kind of like, I'm kind of above this sort of drama.
For sure.
You have fun with your little triangle with Lex Luthor. I'm not going to make this a love square.
It's not a bad headcanon, but yeah. All right, let's see. So we have this really. So
it vaguely reminds me of the couple times that Terry McGinnis had those flirtmances, the one episode flirtmances.
I mean, it's a little better than that.
It's a little better than that, sure, because Superman is very upfront about like, no, Lana, this is like, I'm not going to do that.
So speaking of which, so we have one of the best parts of the episode. We have this really great cozy scene where Superman, he visits Lana in the aftermath to kind of actually have a conversation with her. So he's at her apartment, and it's really great dialogue. Jolie Fisher, I think she's doing a great job. There's very much we've kind of infused a lot of Mary Jane into Lana Lang.
I can see that, yeah.
Kind of a good call, like comics Mary Jane. This whole like. Like Clark, I'm gorgeous, but I'm not stupid. Of course, I figured. I put two and two together. The amazing stuff you were doing. I saw that in the pilot, in Smallville. And she kept tabs on him, like he goes, and then Superman shows up in Metropolis. So she's no dummy, and she's been keeping a little bit of some light tabs on him. So she kind of pops by. And we have this adorable bit where she makes him a root beer float. She remembers what he likes.
Love the root beer float. I'm glad that you made it as the thumbnail. I think
there was no way I was not going to at least try to get that root beer float.
Right.
Because in ordinary circumstances, you can kind of tell on his face he would enjoy that root beer float. He's kind of a pleasant surprise when he sees the root beer float. So Superman's come to warn her about Lex, and she really brushes it off, saying, "Oh yeah, I've heard everyone. I've heard everyone's warned me about powerful men, but I like powerful men." She kind of saunters up to him here, says, "Oh boy, she has it." This is the dichotomy here, where Lois Lane wouldn't give Clark Kent a second glance.
Right.
Lana Lang, though, she's all about that Clark Kent. She just happens to be in a color. He happens to be in an interesting cut, in an interesting suit right now. But she's very flirty with him. She can tell, again, it's the high school sweetheart, the childhood friend. She wants him bad. So in theory, this is the most logical choice he could ever make. Like, yes, go for Lana Lang, but she is mired in something very complicated right now. Superman's no dummy. He's not gonna play that game. So he gets very serious, very respectful. He explains that, look, Lex,
Clark and Lois canonically dating at this point.
Oh no, not at all.
Okay, good. I'm glad I cleared that up. Okay.
No, not remotely. No.
So yeah, you're right. It is a lot better than the Terry thing.
yeah. That's the thing. There's no like. Here's the thing. She's not dating Superman either. She's just she wants to. You get a sense she kind of wants to. This is early on though. So you can tell those two crazy kids like each other, but they haven't quite said like, "Hey, would you like to go out yet?" That's kind of the vibe they play with for a lot of this, where they want to go out, but they kind of haven't found the words for it yet. Anyway, so point being, like, she's kind of brushing it off and getting flirty, and he says, no, listen to me, Lana. Like, he met with an arms dealer today. He's not just like a bad, like he'll break your heart type. Like, he's an actual dangerous man. He's a bad man, like Norm Abrams would say. You're a bad man.
It's like Norman Bates is just like Clark's wingman on this particular matter. Like, that's right, Lana. He's a bad man.
Isn't that right, Norm? Says, yes, yes, young Norman Bates. He's a bad man.
All right.
All right. So anyway, so the arms dealer is named Elon. So he met with Elon.
I gotta tell you, it's really, really fucking funny how close of a name to Elon that is.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, they didn't know.
No, I know they didn't know, but it's a weird, almost kind of like Simpsons predictive programming sort of thing.
Yeah. So Superman has a theory. He doubts that Lex is selling, but basically he doesn't think Lex is is buying arms. He thinks he's selling his surplus and he has it stockpiled somewhere, and that's why he's doing business with his arms dealer.
Mm-hmm.
So again, she's not taking it seriously. She's, oh, I can handle Lex. The only person I have trouble pinning down is Clark Kent, which is a great seductive line, by the way. I only have trouble pinning down Clark Kent.
Right.
And then again, I love that he's not, he's so earnest, and this is like the Superman I can get behind. This is like, for me, Lana, just be careful. He just wants her to be kept. All he wants is for you, Clark, anything. And you get a sense she's going to try and honor that to some degree. So he flies off. But then great TMS reveal shots as you've been hyping up, Tiki. Mercy has been keeping tabs on Lana and sees Superman fly out of her apartment.
Oh yeah.
So we should talk. How do you feel about Mercy in this episode, Tiki?
I don't know. I honestly, I don't really think she's been established all that well so far. So to tell you the truth, she kind of comes out of nowhere.
We're building on Mercy though, piece by piece.
No, I understand that. I understand this isn't like her first appearance. I just kind of think like I don't know. I kind of feel like she hasn't really properly gotten like a big character introduction. She's just kind of like there in the background a little bit. It's a bit of a wonky way to introduce the character, but I guess, I'm sure that as the show goes on, she'll have more to do.
All right. So it's the next morning. But here's the thing. I think I'm just kind of going back to the series like we're doing here. I'm just kind of making a mental note on like the progression of Mercy, where we introduce Mercy. We had like, you're right. She's in the background, but then again, so is Harley.
I did really like the line, "Oh, I'm sorry, no mercy today." That's a great line.
It is. It was a good line. Well, yeah, so looking back on, much like Harley in her first introduction, not a lot there at the start, but we really built from there because there was something memorable about her. And in Mercy's case, she was like the first person who like killed people in the Superman show. She, like she took the professor for a ride, and that was, and we reestablished that here. Like she does Lex's dirty work without question. Like she's very serious about it.
I do like how she has the MO of taking people for rides too. I like that. That's almost like her calling card.
So I would argue that this episode it's a very subtle, it's very slight, but it's something to keep an eye on. I wonder how going forward if we're going to strengthen this till we get to her big episode. But it's this thing where, so next morning she's grilling Lex, and Lex trusts Mercy, and he doesn't trust a lot of people in this world. There's no Otis in this show, so she's essentially kind of the Otis and Miss Tessmacher rolled into one. So next morning, Lana's being grilled by Lex. And he says, "I just want to know why he was at your apartment." And she's like, but long story short, she says, he told me to stay. And he told me you were a bad boy. What did you say? He says, I told him I like bad boys. Now this, I was geeking out so hard at this. I love Lex genuinely smitten by her, and you can see the look on his face. It's a play to his ego. It's like, oh my God! It's the next. It's the fact that Luthor has like the next best thing to Lois in Lana Lang here in that shit. And again, the similarities of Lois is like, oh my God, beautiful, smart, is hanging around me, is not,
has my same initials.
Yep, which again, ego move there. Yeah. He's thinking, we can have the same monogram. I don't have to spend extra money for a change. Wouldn't that be nice? Yep, but again, I love underneath it all, though. He has no idea how close to Superman she is, and that's what I'm geeking at. Oh my God. It's like just the screw you to each other between Lex and Superman, these women caught between it. I love it. All right, so Lana sees that Elon is there, and she eavesdrops on the conversation, hearing she's heeding Superman's words a little bit there. So Mercy sees Lana eavesdropping, and she reports it to Lex. And this is where we get like the thing here, where she suggests like, "Do you want me to take her for a nice little ride?" And just on Saturday morning, the code for "You want me to kill her, Lex? I can kill her real good." But this is the stuff
You
that
know
I
what would
live
have
for.
made that moment even funnier?
What would have made that even funnier, Tiki?
Is if she just enunciated it with a vroom vroom. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm picturing that.
It'd be really okay. I'm gonna tell you what would be funnier. Okay, if
Oh
she
God.
just spelled it out for Lex in case she thought he didn't get it, like a little ride, Lex, vroom vroom. I get it, Mercy. Yes. Okay, now refocusing here. I love this little moment. The animation, the performance really carried it. This little moment that we barely, if ever, see again. It's from the animated series where I love seeing Lex, the immediacy of him saying no, like no,
Mhm.
because he's lonely and he kind of likes this girl.
Yeah, totally.
It's a rare glimpse of the vulnerability with Lex and the ego and the examination of his ego of like, I want to be with someone here. I just don't want to be. I don't want to be Charles Foster Kane at the end of all this, man. I want to walk away with something.
Mhm.
And Lex is still, he's not an idiot. He's dictated by logic here, where it's ego though, but it's also logic. Where I'm not concerned about it. Of course, she'd have questions. She's a curious person, despite Mercy's reservations. Like, look, yes, she's going to eavesdrop. Why would she not? He's seen The Sopranos, even though it hasn't been invented yet. He knows how it works. So,
and I think that's like one of the reasons why this episode resonates with me so much is just that we get such a deep. Honestly, Dragon, like let's just call a spade here. Like the best episodes of this show are the ones that really deep dive into Luthor, right? Is that fair to say?
Oh, that is very fair to say.
Yeah,
yes.
for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's see. So Lana calls Clark and tips him off about the weapons deal and the demonstration that's coming up. So Elon, he demonstrates so this weapon. This is also something really cool just to kind of note just in general. But in the next episode, this is going to be something really important too. So we should kind of hit it here.
Okay.
So in the world building of the DCAU broad and the broader DCAU, and you can still hear me, right?
Yeah.
All right, good. Just want to make sure. So with the building of the DCAU, and more so at this point in time, the differentiating from Batman the Animated Series, they really had to step up. Okay, we have criminals, we have arms deals. We can't just make it like Tommy guns and handguns and like the usual stuff. So they really emphasized the sci-fi world building here with Superman. Where
I
Lex
did
is
notice that. Yeah.
like these are military grade weapons, but they can't just be like grenade launchers. It's got to be a little something extra. And this is a really cool sci-fi.
That's very very on point for Lex Luthor, I think.
Yeah, which it's great, and it fits the whole world of tomorrow kind of vibe of the world building of this metropolis. Like it's broad daylight almost all the time, and it's like it's advanced. We have like monorails and kind of futuristic looking cars. And in this case, the best way I could describe it's a microwave beam gun, where basically it's this really TMS just killing it with the animation.
You know what's funny about this is that this sort of technology, it very much calls to mind. Obviously it's not the same thing. But it calls to mind the fact that like Lex is playing around with like dimensional portals and stuff in the James Gunn verse.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right. And again, also, I just want to shout out really quick. We got Code Diaz in the comments, and he's saying, "As a kid, I preferred Lana over Lex Luthor over Lois Lane." And then the LLs, man, they're killing me. He say Lana's more consistently likable than Lois in adaptations, particularly in Superman 3, but also in the animated series. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, Dragon, if given my type, I would probably gravitate more towards Lana Lang, honestly.
Because she'd be all over you, that's why.
Why do you say that?
No. I mean, just the fact like she's all over Clark Kent. She's very like, hey, I like you. Instead of Lois is like you have the the growing over time thing. You've known Lana for a longer time. That's why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I don't know. I think I'm kind of with Code Geass as far as like no disrespect to Lois. She's obviously an iconic character, but I always like when Lana Lang pops up as well.
However, though,
it's very fair to say that like I haven't really seen Lois Lane on Smallville, but I think it's very fair to say that Lana Lang overshadows her on that show.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways.
All right, so the microwave beam gun, and this is an effect I think only TMS could really pull off. The idea that when this thing, it shoots like a small little beam, almost like a shooting star, and then that basically it envelops whatever target it hit in like this really cool like light effect. It's a TMS-y light effect, and it then basically blows up because the microwaves essentially cause the explosion.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically like the most controversial scene from Gremlins weaponized. It's essentially what it is. So it's very cool, very sci-fi idea. Just fits the aesthetic of the show to a T. And he almost tested full-on Gremlins on this poor little deer here, and Superman saves. Is this the save?
No, not this one. Not this
There's
one.
a lot of good saves, though.
It's still a good one.
It's really neat, though. He saves the. By the way, another TMS thing was the fact that animation studios, in general, animated shows, they hate animating animals. So it takes a really good studio to animate a deer like this.
Sure.
When you see a deer in the script, you're going, "Oh dear." Thankfully, TMS.
Whenever I see animated animals, I just think of like that, all that vintage footage of like the Disney animators bringing in like live deer into the studio to animate them.
Yep. So man almost kills the deer here. Awesome Superman save, and then we have this really great Superman line, really classy. He says, "Sorry, it's only open season on terrorists."
I love that. Superman is so on point with his quips this episode.
Guy tries shooting him. He says, "I should warn you, it's been done." That to me, that's my Superman right there. Like he's just giving him, it's like the Bushido code with a cape almost. Like, look, guys, I have to warn you. Just he's warning him for their own safety. So then, in turn, the guy Elon shoots the train trellis, which causes I'm convinced, a full-on homage to the train rescue in Donner Superman.
I could see that for sure.
So he uses this as a distraction. Superman, helps. Basically, he holds these train rails up, basically to be a makeshift bridge for the train, which is
a classic Superman save move.
Which again is what Christopher Reeve.
That's like straight out of like Superman iconography.
Well, that's the thing. So this show, in the grand scheme of the show, they really try to avoid doing Donner Superman because it's the thing everyone expects them to do. So there's a rare moment of them doing a full-on Donner bit there, where it's like Superman when he like held up the train, they let the train run over him. So that's cool. Okay, so it's nighttime. A rare nighttime Metropolis. We do go to nighttime Metropolis, but
I do like that. That is kind of like an inverse of Batman the Animated Series, where we get rare daytime scenes.
Yeah, that's the thing, because they're always worried, like, okay, if it's nighttime, it's gonna be too much like Batman. That's why they don't.
Right. Yeah.
So if they're doing nighttime, it's like a romantic. It's not a dangerous nighttime. So Superman and Lana are going for a walk, and she admits that he admits that he's been looking for the stockpile and everything, and Lana offers to help him. I could be your Dr. Watson. I could be your Batgirl. You remember what Superman says to that Batgirl comment?
I know he's not very pleased with it. I remember that.
Which this is before we did New Adventures. This is before we went to that degree with Batgirl, but still, there's him saying definitely no.
Right, definitely no. Yeah. No, I do remember that he was kind of like low-key offended by that suggestion.
This is our second Batman reference, by the way. We had that nut in Gotham City, and we had Batgirl, so we mentioned it. All right, let's see. So, he admits his feelings, but Superman knows, look, this isn't right, and then they, bam, kiss. Mercy is watching and waiting in the wings, and she's taking pictures of it, and we have this great Lex Mercy bit here. Mercy, she shows it to him, and he says, "I've seen enough." Oh boy, just the dramatic and personal like stakes between the Superman Lex things.
No, and that's why the episode's so good, I think, is that it really like, the stakes of like the arms deal or whatever are fine, they're pretty traditional.
I'm not concerned over Superman's safety, or like I think Metropolis is going to be fine.
Right, but the emotional stakes are very high.
Yeah, but still, again, the fact that, and it's so weird. Did you feel?
You know what? I honestly kind of feel like the show does a good job, and I don't think this is the first time it's done it. Like, for as obviously bad of a guy as he is, we do some somewhat feel for Luthor here.
Right, because again, he feels betrayed, and Lana is doing kind of. I mean,
and with
look,
that moment that you mentioned earlier, like where he's just trying to hold on to something. Like, honestly, in some ways, he's weirdly like almost like he's not the protagonist of the episode, but he's almost the character that you get more emotionally invested in. Weirdly,
I know, and it's that weird dichotomy where he's done so many terrible things, and he's tried to kill so many people, and yet here, again, he is being kind of done dirty by Lana here, and she's not taking, she's the idea, like she was kind of gravitating around because he from a very surface level, but then it's like, I can easily turn on this guy. There was not an ounce of like genuine like attraction or romance there. The moment she said, "Hey, Superman's back, my old friend's back on the table," and Lex is being kind of done dirty here, and I feel for him. I love this scene. So the next morning, it's just when you rewatch the episode, it plays even better. It's the idea there's this tension at breakfast. Mercy,
Walter Jr. is not happy. They didn't have his cereal at the grocery store.
Yeah.
What do you mean I got Cocoa Krispies, Mom? I wanted Cocoa Pebbles.
What is this? This is turkey bacon? What are we, animals? It tastes like Band-Aids.
Anyway, sorry.
All right, so Mercy says Mercy's going to pick you up for dinner, and but Lex is just playing it really cool right now, but so coldly though. I love it. Mm-hmm. So Elon's on the phone. I love this bait on the rewatch. The fact that he's loudly having the conversation with Elon, saying Central City, wait for me in Central City.
Right. Yeah.
Which, by the way, first flash nod.
I did catch that, of course. Yeah.
Yep. See, Tiki, the Flash is the one in the red costume.
Oh my god!
See, I know we have to really spell out the DG, but I also want to make sure.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Okay, so we have Clark.
At least I know who Diane Lane and Diane Keaton are.
Well, after a lot of hard work, but yeah.
I'm still really embarrassed about that, dude.
Yeah.
That was not a good look for me.
Well, she died for your sins, Tiki.
Oh, God.
And she died of shame.
All right. Anyways.
So we have Clark Kent on his 90s car phone, which is still really...
Yes.
I love that, by the way, Mask of the Phantasm, Bruce Wayne has like the old-timey car phone, and we just now like the 90s, like it's so much easier now. Mm-hmm. No rotary dial. So Clark gets a call from Lana warning him, and he says, "Wait, I told you not to listen in, not to spy on him."
She's just like, I was standing right there. I wasn't spying, which honestly, that right there kind of should have tipped her off that it was a little too easy.
See, at the end of the day, that's the difference between her and Lois. Okay, Lois, a little more useful in the field, a little more discerning. Sure. Just a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Okay, so she pointed me, and she's like jazzed their mind over the thrill of teamwork with Superman. He's like, and she hangs up before he can like say, "No, Lana, wait," because again, he's asking the smart questions here, but she's not letting them ask him. So he pulls over, flies off, which is a great question. What does Superman do when he is driving and needs to fly off as Superman? And
I love this little moment. This little moment is so great. Yeah. I love that they take the time to like fully animate it. He just pulls his car into like a little back alley.
You know what the Peter Parker version of that is, though?
Oh, God, what?
Someone took the tires off of his car when he comes back.
Of course.
Of course, if that happens to Batman, he gets a new Robin. But if that happens to Superman... All right, so then we have...
That happens to Peter Parker. It's like he's not paying rent for a month.
Exactly. All right, so... Okay, so Lana gets in the car after a little phone call there and says, like, "Hey, where's Mercy?" And then Elon's like, "Sorry, no mercy tonight." Crap.
Which, again, just great fucking villain line.
All right, now here's the other. This is kind of the other part of that Lex Mercy scene. This is the real, again, a little Mercy thing to kind of take stock of here. So Lex, he's staring out at the city in a really cool looking shot. Mm-hmm. Mercy reports in saying, she's been picked up. And she's very gleefully telling him this. Should I cancel your reservation? So again, she's taking a little glee because again, like she does feel a little possessive of Lex here. And it's not a romantic thing, but she's feeling. You can make an argument, but
it's definitely like a business,
kind
of wanting to lock him down, sort of thing, more than anything else. Yeah,
exactly. She's his chief of staff, that kind of. I don't know. Is there something,
Uh-huh.
So she's like, should I cancel the reservation? She's making light of it, thinking, it's another dime a dozen. Someone betrays Lex, they get killed. That's kind of how it works. And just him says, Clancy Brown just delivering it here, man, just saying, get out.
Oh yeah.
Get out! Just so oh, it's great. Yes. So as far as the Lex plots go, I love this idea so much. So we go to like a lead smelting plant, like a lead forge of some kind, and it's ingenious that he set this whole. So the idea is that Lex's his weapons stockpile is kept in a place where he knows Superman would not be able to find it because of the lead.
Right. Yeah.
And he sent the girl to her doom here because he knows, with that in mind, he will not be able to find the girl.
And he can't see him, but he can hear him.
Yep, which is great. So again, initially the central, he's so confident about the central city lead and everything, but then Superman shows up. Yeah, but my hearing's pretty good.
Which, again, another fucking fantastic Tim Daly delivery.
God.
Like, he's really on fire this episode.
Yes.
He really is.
Basically, instead of the Great Conroy, it's the Daily Tim.
I can sign off on that.
This week on the Daily Tim.
Oh, God. Okay, you know what? I almost kind of feel like now that you've brought that up, we have to go back and like retroactively pick Daily Tims for all the other episodes we've done.
I don't think we have time for it now.
I know. Maybe in the future we could go and, like maybe at the end of season 1 or something. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see. All right. So we have this point being so Elon activates like the idea is where all this lead smelting's going on, and we put her in a death trap. She's like in more like the barrels that's going to get like a lot of lead, kind of like little metal containers. It's about to get lead poured into it. Looks very scary. And before she's smelted to death, he pulls the lever so you can get out of there, and Superman can be busy saving her. Last second save, which by the way is a full-on nod, I'm convinced, to Flesher Superman. Is this the save?
It is, Dragon. It's the save.
He just holds his cape up. And
I love the iconography, man. I love the iconography of like this molten lead not being able to get in between Superman and saving people,
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's something that really speaks to like his true power levels and then also his heroism. It's just iconic imagery, man. It's classic imagery.
It's a cheat with the costume, but I don't care. It looks cool.
Right.
Flesher Superman did it too. I don't care. All right, so Superman tells
you know what? In my own headcanon, it's just like we have like an Edna Mode type character who somehow was able to, mimic Superman's powers onto the costume.
I don't know. Basically, look, in all honesty, it's up to this point. Maybe it was a decision they made later on. Actually, you know what? I think I found a way to make it work. Okay, follow me on this. Original Superman costume made out of like, the baby blanket stuff and everything, made out of like the interior of the rocket.
Uh-huh.
And then later on, it is going to get destroyed. But after that gets destroyed, that's when he's making the suits himself at that point, probably. Maybe that's it. Could be. I'm not saying that would track. At least it makes sense why it's so indestructible in moments like this. I'm just throwing it out there. So, let's see. Superman tells her he figured out it was too easy and it was a setup, and he followed her because of that. Very smart. Super intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So, okay. So Elon's he's shooting the microwave gun, and he drops a smelting pot in the forge on Superman. Ends up blowing it up. Molten lead is flooding the place. It's a really cool, trippy visual that again TMS, man.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So Superman seemingly, initially Lana was like basically, "Oh, I'm gonna put you here so you're safe," but it's a powder keg. He puts her like where all the weapons are. It's like, oh god, he's actually put her in grave danger by accident.
Really didn't think that through. He really didn't like inspect the area well enough.
Yeah, well, again, he can barely see around this place though because it's all lead.
No, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah.
So then Superman saves Lana in a really cool way here, where just like, Clark, you're a mess. When he's covered in lead, he's like completely gray. And look, there's a we don't care moment in this episode where it's like, okay, look, all the logic police out there. How can he grab her as he's flying out without her being scolded by
I
multiple
was kind of wondering that. I'm not
land?
gonna lie.
Okay, look, you want an honest answer. Okay, look, if he used some super breath to blow the lead, it might have worked, but they didn't have time to animate that. So he's like, come on, it's a cheat. It's a we don't care moment. Right, he did. It was like went in the blink of an eye. Maybe it was so fast it didn't burn her. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Right,
Superman,
right.
darn it. So, anyways, all these. Now, I'm pretty sure Elon gets killed, though. That's not Superman's fault. I'm just saying the guy dropped a forge on him and he got melted. So, it's presumably we don't see him make it out of there. So,
I mean, if honestly, it's one of those things where it's like if he did survive, he'd probably have to come back as like some sort of like weird like molten lead man.
Yeah. So all the crates explode, and that's why I'm pretty sure the guy's dead. All these explosions, the whole factory is up. Lex, we have the news headline, Lex under investigation, but there's no evidence because it all went up in smoke, so it won't stick. Lana visits Clark at the Daily Planet. This is a nice moment here. And this is, again, it feels a little like Superman 3, where, we have like Lana at the end of the Daily Planet at the very end of the movie. Superman lets her down gently in a really nice way, and I love how she cuts him off. Like, if you say I'm like a sister, I'm going back to Lex. And it's like, you'll find someone special someday, Lana, which is really nice. It's a really adult way to kind of like, they're still friends, they still care about each other, just saying, romantically, it's just not in the cards for us.
Sure.
So, and it was just like, so will you, Clark. You deserve it. So you deserve someone quiet. This is a great gag. Someone quiet, understanding, patient, and there's like, hey, Smallville, get your tail in here. It's like,
right.
But you know what? It's just
that's kind of one of the reasons why I don't mind the fact that Lois kind of disappears from the episode is that she does have a really, really good tag at the end.
She has better things to do.
Exactly. That's my headcanon on it. Yeah.
Yep. It just really, and you know what it speaks to? It just speaks to the fact that we don't. It's the move of an egotist. Sometimes you want someone who's exactly like you. A lot of times people want the opposite, and that's why he wants Lois Lane. Fundamentally, like she's not me.
Sure.
And you've ever changed your mind, fly on up anytime. Just it's like Smallville, I'm coming. It's the sigh and then coming. It's like, yes, that's the Lois and Clark. That's Superman and Lois's dynamic to a T. They're like, yeah, she calls for me, I show up, even if I'm Clark. Yeah, coming.
Totally.
And that's the episode.
All right, yeah. I mean, yeah, I really do think this is probably my favorite that we've gotten so far, Dragon. I think it's just really just kind of like fits that quintessential mold of what you're looking for in a Superman episode because it's got great Lex Luthor stuff. It's got great saves. It's got great characterization. I just really think it checks all the boxes. It might not be the most like plot heavy episode, but at the same time, it's really good character building. So just all around, just a really good time.
It's definitely an underrated. I think it might be one of the most underrated Superman the Animated Series episodes. I'll give you that. It's again, we don't get a lot of play with Lana in the show. She does come back, but this was her big episode. If you're going to give her a big episode, we gave her a heck of an episode. I never would have expected, again, a pre-Smallville era. You never would have expected like the love triangle between a Superman, Lex, and Lana like this, which of course Smallville built a business on that. But at least for 5 seasons, well, at least for like I guess 7 seasons they did that.
Yeah,
of many. But yeah, it's seriously, this is a great episode, and looking back on it, it holds up very well.
All right, so take us out, Dragon.
Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman! Battling the newly upgraded forces of Intergang. Superman! Saving a charming tribute to Jack Kirby. Superman! Unaware of an apocalypse on the horizon.
On the next visit to the Fortress of Recaps with Tools of the Trade.
I should warn you, it's been done before.